Hey, what's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you all back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. This right here is something I want to do on a constant basis. Instead of a Q&A, I want to just do a convo piece. Now, people can still ask questions all they want, and I will answer them in the next version of these videos. But I want to do something more of a conversational piece. I just want to be able to speak my mind on whatever topics that may come to me. Plus, maybe this is something that you can use on your downtime when you're drawing or creating or whatever it is that you do, playing in the background. And hopefully my voice is something that keeps you comfortable and relaxed. I just want you to get into that zone, baby. Stay in that zone. So let's get into the first iteration of what I like to call combo in art. So first and foremost, I just want to put this out there. I'm thinking about doing these things called quick clips. They're really quick, short animations that I want to be able to do to have more content for weekly uploads. And I think it would be really good for other platforms like Instagram and Twitter. If you're on Instagram, you can find me on there as Trace Digitals. Same thing on Twitter. But I was thinking about something that could be tailored to that, but also can be put up here on YouTube for the subscribers. But I'll keep stuff like the convo and art like this exclusively on YouTube. So it would be great to get some feedback to see what you guys think about it. But let's get into the scene. Right here, what I'm doing in the background that you can see right now, this is keep your eyes busy, but also it's something for me to speak on when it comes to the art. What I'm doing in this drawing, in this piece that I'm doing, which I'm turning into an animation, is drawing an egg. Now, the reason I started drawing this egg was I was just trying to do something different. I was working on a piece and it was coming out so badly that I just felt like giving up on it. So instead of like completely giving up on it, I decided to work on something different, do something different, like to exercise my mind so my art doesn't become stale. I feel like it's been becoming stale because I'm drawing the same things over and over again. So that's why I went into this. Usually, I think one of my biggest problems is I don't warm up. So I see it a lot where it says you should warm up, you should do a bunch of lines, a bunch of straight lines, a bunch of curved lines, stuff like that, doing circles, ovals, and these like egg type shapes. So in the process of saying, okay, maybe I should warm up, and I started doing these warm-ups and they just weren't clicking for me. They didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. It felt like I was just scribbling stuff down. So instead, I started doing circles, and then I decided, oh, that looks like an egg. Let me do something with an egg. Mind you, I didn't even think about the fact that Easter had just passed. But I said, okay, this looks like an egg. Let's start doing something with an egg. So I just started sketching out this random scene because I wanted to do a scene, because practicing scenes is like a big deal for me because it helps me with my composition. I don't think that I did too well in the composition at the end of this piece, but like I said, it's something that I've never done before. I've never drawn an egg and, you know, this type of stuff. I never drawn this stuff, and which was very helpful for me when doing this because it was a challenge. But since it was like an oval, something that you do on a constant basis when you're doing art anyway, it was comfortable. It was a comfortable challenge for me to do this type of thing. So if you're looking at the video, you'll probably see me sketching out or doing the line work for the egg. And I thought at the end, why don't I make it open up? Because I was thinking, I'm doing a lot of animation. I don't want to just draw something. I want to animate it also, because animation has been so helpful with me for my art. because I'm drawing stuff over and over and over again. So I'm getting the muscle memory quicker. So as I draw that and I open it up, I think, oh man, what am I gonna put inside of it? So you can see me like scribbling, trying to think of something to put inside of it. I'm thinking, what if I put a duck coming out of it or whatever? Just scribbling. So instead of just focusing on that, what I did was I finished the piece that day, and then I took a day off to think about, what do I want to come out of the egg? What should come out of this? So I just went ahead and animated the egg opening up, dropped the colors in the background, drop some shadows, give it a good feel to it, and then drop some clouds in there. And that was about it for that day. And then I took a couple days off to figure out what I want to put inside. So after thinking a couple days of what I want to come out of the egg, I see a Godzilla commercial. And then I end up seeing an old clip. Oh, it was on Amazon Prime of Jurassic World. And I've always been into dinosaurs. I even wanted to study it back when I was young. So I thought, okay, let's do something to do with dinosaurs. The scene is already set like some weird prehistoric time. Just the coloring has that feel, like a desert/canyon type feel. I said that like you would find a whole bunch of dinosaurs in deserts and canyons. Oh, maybe you would. There's a bunch of lizards there and stuff like that. But then again, they say that dinosaurs didn't look like lizards. They were like this mixed breed between lizards and birds, whatever. But like I said, I was inspired by these images that I saw, but instead of going straight back into the program and drawing it out and trying to sketch it out, what I did was I ran to Pinterest and I got a bunch of images of dinosaurs. Now, while my favorite dinosaur was something like a Stegosaurus or something like that, I wasn't drawing that because this is an exercise. It's too much detail. So I was thinking I'll go with a raptor. That's the second favorite dinosaur that I like. So I said I'll go with a raptor. Then I found something like an Indoraptor. So I was thinking maybe a raptor, baby raptor, and the mother is standing over the raptors. And then I was thinking, okay, perfect, I'll do that. And as I got into it, I started thinking, no, that's going to be so much detail. It's so much animation, I'll never get it out to everybody. I'll end up taking 2 weeks to get it done. And I wanted to just get it done in a week. It's just an exercise. So I just went with the baby raptors. I found a couple sketches. And like I said, instead of going into the program, what I did was I sketched it on my phone. I probably traced about 3 different raptor drawings. And then I put those sketches together, and then I came up with my own version, which was a little bit of a mixture of those 3. And then I brought it into the computer. I just used the Adobe function where you can upload it and sync it to your Creative Cloud, and I just brought it up. And then when I brought it up, I saved it as an image and then brought it up into Clip Studio Paint. Where's the Clip Paint Studio? Clip Studio. Manga Studio? You know, whatever. But yeah, then I brought it up. And then I started doing the work. Now, I don't know if you've heard this before, but I have heard this a lot recently, and I heard it a few times in the past. I've only been drawing for almost 2 years. Next month, which will be May, will be 2 years for me. But I've been hearing that you're supposed to draw your images that you're making at least 3 times. Sketch them out. You fill them out, sketch them out, and then work them out. So that's what I've heard. So now I'm practicing this art. So I did my sketch on the phone, brought it in, sketched it out again inside a Clip Studio. And then I started doing my work, working it out with the inking. So I did all of that, and it was a it was a bit of a challenge because even though I had a good reference, I still didn't really understand the biology of the animal. So it's hard for me to remember, oh yeah, the big toe is the big one, and then the other ones need to be smaller or incrementally smaller as you go down. So some of my proportions were off, but like I said, it's an exercise. But even though I'm doing the exercise, I still worked it as much as I could to be fun, but to be as accurate as I needed to be for what I'm doing. But so the sketches and stuff like that all came out pretty good, in my eyes, and then it was off to animating. So another thing is I didn't understand the way that they moved. So animating, it just became a guessing game for me. So that's why the animation itself doesn't have as much movement as I would like it to. I did a lot with the tail on the raptor to give it that feel of movement, and then swirling the head around a little bit. But as for the feet, it was more of a guessing game. I felt like I was just guessing whatever. So then I thought, okay, now that I got my raptor sketched out and just about ready to go, let me take the blueprints and put them into the scene and see how I'm going to have them in the scene. So I thought, oh, you know what? Let's have nothing coming out the egg. Oh, let's have one thing coming out the egg. Then I thought, okay, let's have two raptors, one already out and then one coming out of the egg. And when I thought of that, I thought, you know what? This scene seems a bit unnatural. Why would a raptor put their egg in the middle of the desert and into a crack and like into a hole like that? So I decided, okay, I am going to put some kind of foliage around it. So that was the plan. So after I was done getting them set up inside of the scene, I was like, okay, then I'll put some foliage or something around it, some brush or something. And then that's when I went on to working on that. As you can see, working on the brush was a chore in itself because I was trying to draw it out. I was trying to do all this, do all that, and I'm just not good with the surrounding pieces. I can set up the ground, I can set up a background, but the surrounding pieces, like the organic things, is just not something I do on a constant basis, which is why I'm doing it. I keep going back to that. This is the purpose of these types of exercises. So what I end up doing is taking the preset grasses that came inside of Clip Studio. That was my only workaround. And then I just worked around that because it was such a chore trying to draw that and get it finished for this week. So that's what I ended up doing. And then I just started surrounding the area, the egg and all of that stuff with the brush so that it seems like, okay, it was cleared out for the raptor babies, but it's still in the brush where they're not easily seen. I mean, a raptor come out with those claws anyway, so it can pretty much defend itself to a certain extent, but we're talking about larger animals or getting stomped over or whatever. Yes, I know this is the logic that I'm thinking is not really realistic, but hey, this is my process. I am zen when I draw. So at the end of the day, I ended up finishing most of this piece. I didn't get the shadows in. They weren't working out properly for the raptors or whatever. So what I ended up doing is trying to get some outside observation and some feedback. So I sent it to a couple people I know, and I ended up getting a very dry response. And I understand why, because they're used to the art that I'm usually drawing or the animations that I'm usually doing. And this is like far from that. But with that being said, I still took the feedback in, and what they were looking for is more color, kind of like the last one I did with the grocery shopping, and you can see all the candy bars, boxes, and stuff like that. So what I ended up doing was I ended up adding a bug, just a splash of color. Add that bug in, get them running across the ground, and that's how I ended up finishing it off. It wasn't amazing, it wasn't anything like that, but that was my solution to give it a little splash of color. Now, the last thing I want to say to you before I really complete this video and let you just finish watching me do the process, that's if you want to finish watching me do the process of creating this image in this animation, is tell you that always think about doing something different. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself, because this is what I'm learning as I go into my second year. As I get ready to go into my third year, is that doing things that's outside of your comfort zone help you build muscle memory in different places. It's like if you were a boxer and you were really good at throwing hooks, but your jab was horrible. You would usually stick into your comfort zone, but your coach will push you to learn how to jab properly, because it's going to help your game overall, keep you safe, keep you protected on a larger scale. Now, you feel protected and comfortable in the fact that you can just throw these hooks and probably block, but that's not a complete game and a complete aspect. And that's what I'm learning, that you have to venture out and do different things in order to get better at what you're doing. And also it helps you when your art starts to plateau, because I remember that after the first year my art just plateaued. It just completely plateaued. I did about 6 months of just the same stuff over and over again. I did not get better. I didn't get worse, but I didn't get better. It just got straight stale. I took 3 months off, came back, and I saw everything much differently. And then I worked on some other stuff on the side, maybe some designing and stuff like that. And then I came back and I was able to see the progress and then start to progress even more, because I had that confidence and I wasn't doing the same thing over and over again. So it didn't get old to me. So I encourage everybody to try different things. If you're an anime lover, try to draw some realistic stuff, and then you can come back to it. If you like to draw realistic stuff, try to draw some anime. If you like to draw people, draw cars. If you like to draw cars, draw people. Just try things outside. Draw animals, draw, stuff like that. So with that, I will leave you. If you like to finish this video, please do. Please subscribe if you have not already, and like this video, and don't forget to drop your comments below. But as always, until the next video, please live life.
Corruption make the beat slur. Corruption make the beat slur. Corruption make the beat slur. Corruption make the beat slur.
But until next time, live life. 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 But until next time, live life.
Corruption make the beat slur. Corruption make the beat slur.